So you had a cesarean section 4 weeks ago. In this video, I'm going to be talking to you about recovery from 4 weeks onwards. This is the time where you're like, the wound has closed, I'm feeling better, and you start to assume that you're completely healed. But actually, you've had 7 layers cut through and then 7 layers sutured. And although the healing on the wound is okay, it can take months for the internal healing to be complete. So watch this video to help you on your recovery between weeks 4 to 8 after having a cesarean section. If you're new here, I've also done a video covering weeks 1 to 4 of recovery after a cesarean section, and I recommend that you go and watch that first. After this video, I'll be filming a video on longer term complications after a cesarean section, something that you might expect to see 6 months, 12 months, or even some years after having a cesarean section. I'm an obstetrician, and like I said, this is the second video in a series of videos talking about the recovery process after a cesarean section. So by week 4, the external wound has hopefully covered over. In the first video, I spoke about the risk of infections. I also have another video that speaks specifically about infections and poor healing of the wound. And it might be that by the week 4, if you've had an infection, if you've had a gaping open of the wound, that it actually hasn't healed completely. Go and watch those videos if that resonates with you. However, if you're in the season where your wound has completely closed over and you are week 4, let's carry on. Even though the wound has healed, there is still significant healing happening underneath. The muscle, the tissue, the fat is undergoing its own rebuilding process, which means that for some people, even at weeks 4, 5, and 6, you might still feel some swelling around the wound, some tugging around the wound, and that's normal, and that's just part of the healing process. Typically around week 6 is a time for you to start scar massage. So this is an idea that actually by massaging over the scar, you're promoting healing, you're preventing sort of the tissues getting stuck down together, the tugging on the underlying structures under the skin and the muscle, and you might be able to help reduce that with the scar massage. So the idea is that you're not using anything super fragranced, anything super irritating to your skin, just soft, gentle oils that are good for the skin and gently massaging. If the wound is open, if it's infected, or if the process of the massage is painful, then you're not ready. At that point, stop, reevaluate in a week or 2, and then try again. You can get helpful documents on how to do a massage online, and I can link some down below, and what processes you need to be doing over the wound and how often you need to do it. If you're noticing any lumps or bumps or changes in feeling to the skin over the wound, again, that could be quite normal and part of the healing process and should resolve over a few weeks. I've had a patient come in after 6 months after having a cesarean section saying that it started off as numb and then afterwards it started getting better. So again, don't completely ignore it, but it may well be part of the healing process for you. But if it is something that concerns you, then at that point, I definitely recommend that you go and seek help from a clinician. At about 6 weeks, most women will have gone and had their 6-week check. Depending on who does it, where it's happened, what country you live in, depends on how useful you might find that appointment. So some women find that they're not looked at all, and some women are cursory glanced at, maybe a feel on the tummy, and they're like, yes, you're free to go, you're completely healed. Like I've said, after a cesarean section, that's not completely true because healing happens from the inside out. So at that point, are you safe to exercise? The idea about having an enhanced recovery after a cesarean section is increased mobility, so making sure that you're going for walks, gentle movement to help blood flow, to help the recovery process. But there is also a thing as overdoing it. So if at 6 weeks you are feeling that you can exercise, this is probably not the time to go and lift weights or go and do anything that's too particularly heavy on the core or in the pelvic floor, but start gentle exercises, specifically those that are geared towards women who've just had babies. So postpartum type exercises, I would recommend at this point, and to start slowly and gently and work your way up to probably what was your pre-pregnancy capability. Thinking about the pelvic floor specifically, so from about weeks 3, you want to start engaging the pelvic floor, thinking about the pelvic floor muscles, thinking about their function. Engaging with a physiotherapist at about week 6 is probably really helpful to start that pelvic floor rehabilitation, because we know once the pelvic floor works well, it prevents you from having things like bladder, losing control of your bladder, losing control of your bowel, or things like prolapse in your 50s and 60s, and sometimes actually in your 40s. So it's important to look after the pelvic floor after having any form of delivery. And if you're someone who is quite active and really keen to get back into exercise, I would recommend potentially a physio assessment prior to doing exercises that might harm your pelvic floor or your abdominal muscles, and doing so with someone who's certified in that area to give you some advice. So another key thing is weeks 4 to 8 of recovery is like, when do you start having sex? Again, some people think like the 6-week mark is a green light to go. I've seen patients who at weeks 1, 2, day after have resumed sexual activity. And so obviously the answer is to do it when you feel ready. Having said that, the safest thing to do is to give your body time to heal. If you've had a cesarean section specifically, to think about what type of sex that you're doing and whether or not it can cause harm to the healing muscles, if it can cause harm to you, if it puts you in uncomfortable positions. Those are the things that I would think are reasonable, but also brace yourself for the fact that it may well be uncomfortable, it may be painful. Although you've not had a vaginal delivery, the way the hormones drop off, especially if you're breastfeeding, you get lower estrogen, which means that the vaginal tissues are less soft, which can make penetration uncomfortable. And there are ways in which your clinician can support you with that, but being mindful of that as well at the time that you decide to resume sexual activity, as long as it's your decision. So I would say, don't feel rushed, don't feel like you have to do it any sooner than you want. And I actually have a video about libido after having a baby, how long it can take you to feel ready after having sex, communicating with your partner, taking it slowly, using water-based lubricants where possible. If you are watching this and you've had a vaginal delivery, for instance, or you've had an injury to the vagina, because some people will have had a cesarean section but might have sustained a vaginal injury at the time, making sure that the wounds down there are completely healed and completely recovered prior to having sex as well. Those are the types of things that will support you in this season. And if you are having sex, thinking about the advice around future pregnancies. For anyone who's had a baby, the World Health Organization advises that you have at least 2 years between the time of delivery to conception of the next baby. For people who specifically had a cesarean section, we often advise that you wait 18 to 24 months before you get pregnant again to make sure that the healing process has completely happened. The things that we worry about is if you get pregnant and the healing hasn't been completed, at that next pregnancy there are increased risks of the wound opening up, the placenta being in the wrong place, the baby not getting as much as it needs for that pregnancy to be healthy. And honestly, that's the safest thing to do for you. And if you're thinking about how do you prevent pregnancy, then there'll be options for contraception, hopefully before you leave the postnatal ward, or even at the 6-week check with your doctor to get you on the right types of birth control. If that's not necessarily something that you want, then thinking about barrier methods and natural methods as well to prevent pregnancy, although that's not as successful as some of the medications that can be given. And then when you are ready to have a baby again, having an appointment with a doctor just to go through your pregnancy, your healing process, making sure that you're as healthy as you possibly can be going into that next pregnancy. All of those things are really important. So a lot of my advice about when to go back to hospital stands in the next 4 to 8 weeks as it did in the first 4 to 8 weeks. If you're getting bleeding that's getting heavier, pain that's getting worse, your tummy's getting bigger, your wound opens up or begins to open up even after 4 weeks of when it seemed it was perfectly healing, all of these are reasons to go back to your doctor and seek advice. If you're noticing that you're getting swelling in the legs, breathlessness, pain in the chest, those could be signs of a blood clot in the legs or the lungs and would need urgent treatment. If you're not able to pass urine, you're not able to open your bowel, or you're getting leaking, things like that are reasons to go back to your doctor also. And typically, if you've had a cesarean section, an emergency cesarean specifically, if you're experiencing emotional symptoms, distress, anxiety around that whole process, going back to your doctor as well at that point to seek help, to seek intervention is also really advisable. And that's not just for women who've had cesarean sections, but for all women after pregnancy, because your mood can change and the way in which it changes can be mild, can be moderate, and can be severe. So recovery after a cesarean section is a marathon, it's not a sprint. It takes as long as it takes. And this video has hopefully given you some tools to know what to expect at certain parts of your recovery, where the red flags are and when you need to go and seek help. how you start planning your future family, planning your future activity around the timing of your cesarean section. And if you found this really useful, make sure that you share this with someone that you know who's had a cesarean section, and come back, because my next video will be on longer term recovery post cesarean section. And in that video, we're talking things like cesarean scar endometriosis or a cesarean scar niche. And if you haven't already, download my postpartum red flag guide so that you can know what symptoms you need to be aware of to flag up and see your clinician. On this channel, I post about postpartum recovery to help you recover physically, mentally, and socially after having a baby. I'm posting videos on this channel twice a week to help you along your journey. So subscribe to this channel and share it with someone that you know might benefit from it. Until next time.